The most toys coming at you yet again, and I had so much fun building my Scott Bernard transforming Cyclone armor from Robotech or Mospeada, whatever you know it as. I decided to build the rest of the gang. So here's the second one of his crew, and this is Rook Bartley. She has a light armored Cyclone, so it is a lot smaller than the Scott version, or the stick version, depending again on which incarnation of the anime you watched. She's a little shorter, and her motorcycle's a little shorter and less armored, of course. So our transformation also a little simplified compared to the other model. And of course, if you want this guy, or gal I should say, you're going to be able to go to our website and click below, and you can order it along with some other cool creations from our instructions catalog. So let's get her on her motorcycle and show you how she looks riding, and then we'll get to the transformation. So here's Rook on her Cyclone. Before we go to armor mode, you can take her bazooka if you want, and instead of just mounting it on the side of the Cyclone, you can just hook it in the side of the Bionicle hand, and you can mount her gun like it was seen in some episodes of the anime. So without further ado, let's get her in her armored mode. So first, of course, we're going to remove the figure from the bike. So we just do that by taking her away from her bike. The big changes we made, guys, too, is we made swivel forearms, so it's easy for her to ride her bike or do dynamic poses when in armored mode. But for armor mode, we need to get her as straight as possible, like we did with Stick or Scott. You'll notice also she has thinner legs. That complements when we put all the armor bits on because it's a thinner figure, and I'll do a quick comparison with the other figure as well. So you just want to get everything straightened up and kind of like that. So she's nice and straight. And I'm just going to move the camera a tad just so we get a better view when we go into armored mode. So I'll try not to get my hands in the way, but they might get there. So, of course, to get us in armor mode, we have our cannon. We have to take off some components of the motorcycle, and I made this simpler than the Scott version. You're just going to unpeg these, and the same on the other side, and then the front as well. They're just on little jumper plates, 2x2 jumper plates, and pop it off. So then we have this fairly interesting motorcycle all by itself, and it's kind of cool on its own as a motorcycle. We're going to flip down that section here, and the transformation is going to be just a simplified version of the Scott version because it's lighter, and as you can see here, it's pretty sturdy and solid. Okay, so to finish transformation, or to get the armor components out, this time this is going to stay as one complete unit, and you're only going to have to put on the small armor components to finish up. I did make a stand for this one as well, and I'll show you in a second when we go to transformation. Finish transformation. You want to pull off, just like the other one, the side arms, and get them out of the way. And then you're going to want to go back here and pull both halves of the front of the motorcycle across. It's an 8 stud long Technique axle, and so now it's free moving. And then there's just one other component you want to remove, and that is this guy, which is, whoops, we lost it. Coming back, that is the, we'll unfold that into the front armor as we did on the other. So we're just going to set the bulk of the motorcycle down as I get the stand. Okay, so we're going to bring in the stand, and it's a lot smaller than Scott's, and we'll show you in a second, just because it's lighter and you don't need all the bulk to take away from the figure. But again, because they're back heavy just due to the transformation, you want to have some support, and of course the LDD file will come with that. So we want to go back around now and turn this into the backpack for the armor section. So we're just going to bring this section around, and you look in the back. We're not going to do much. We're just going to fold up the back section with the exhaust, And we're going to take the wheels and we're going to spin them both on both sides, up and around. And you can see that's much more simplified than the other version, but it's the same basic idea. So then we have the armor pack. So what we're going to do, just for ease sake, and we're going to put the armor pack on the stand like this. Just makes it our lives easier for transformation. Move the stand. Okay, so let's connect the armor components. We're just going to want to flip, first of all, these sections out to make clearance for the shoulders and make sure it fits over the helmet and over the shoulders. And there's a little clip on the back, whoops, for extra support. If you want, you can hook into this jumper plate at the back, and you can see then she stands there, and you can easily then deploy the armor around her, which I added as a nice little touch for you guys just to help you out a bit. And we'll do that and get the armor bits just pushed in and over and around like this. We're then wanting to take these arms like we did in the other version and just for now get them around the front to hug the armor section. Oops. And just kind of just underneath. The chest plate is a good place for it, and you can adjust them because they're all on ball joints anyway. And there we go. Just adjust the stand accordingly to about there. Get a nice pose is also easier. Okay. So sorry for having my hands in the way, but basically that's what we got to do. Okay, so then we've got this section we ripped off the front of the vehicle, and just like before, we're going to fold everything out like this. For like the Scott version, we're going to hook the middle of this 2x4 plate centered onto this piece here, and then we're going to kind of get these guys down, but we'll wiggle them in place later so that we can hook up and finish the armor hookup there. You want to fold this underneath the chin and then hook it in. And it's going to go in two places. So it's going to go in on the waist, and then you can flatten those guys out like that. And now this is the tricky part, as it was in the other version. You want to just kind of wiggle these guys so that they'll meet. Okay, there's one. And this is the hardest part of getting the armor bits on, is just meeting up this section. And about there. Okay. So then we're going to put the cod piece on there. Make sure everything is cinched in. Just make sure. There we go. Okay. Everything's cinched in. We're good to go. Okay. So once we get everything cinched in on the back, we can fix up however we like. And I'm just going to bring the armored bit up a bit. There. And again, it's all as you're fiddling. The stand is helpful once you're done. It's also helpful once you're armoring up. Okay. So to finish off, of course, we're going to move the arms a bit out of the way so we can get the waist guards on. That's these guys. Take one, and there's a little piece with a stud on it on each side, and you're going to put it in there, and you can rotate it however you like. You're going to do the same with the other side. And put on a little stud in there. Armor angle how you like. We are then going to put the wrist armor on. And that's these guys. And there's jumper plates on each wrist. And you're going to just connect them like that. And there, oh, we have, and her cannon, of course. Her cannon, rifle, whatever you want to call it. Get that on there. And then you are all suited up. So there is your ride armor on the stand. And it's pretty cool. So that's your Rook ride armor if you're interested in getting this one, or the Scott Stick Bernard version, or we'll have some more coming, of course. Just head over to our website. The link is below, and you can buy instructions for these and other models. But enough yapping. Let's bring in the Scott model as comparison for size. And you can see definitely he's more bulky, and he has a heavier armored presence than this slimmed down version. So all in all, I hope you've enjoyed this cool Lego creation, and hope you'll stop by and get the instructions and build your own. Until next time, everyone, happy building and take care.